Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Glow. So, as you can see by the chunk buddy here, we're going to be building on another chunk, and by the shulkers that are just kind of ominously lurking out. Now, I need to go along and get a load of seeds from this part of the farm, because we're going to be building a chunk-aligned melon and pumpkin farm, plus the storage system. Hence why I want it on a chunk alignment. I'm getting tired of hoppers just disappearing on me and stopping. So it's not going to be as large as my usual melon and pumpkin farms. In fact, it's not going to take up that much space at all. I'm probably going to just build it in an 8x8 area, so roughly half of this. We had to expand out to here. Look, we have a nice viewing platform as well. We have a couple of nice viewing platforms. I absolutely love them because you can just kind of see some of the work. There we go. You can kind of see some of the work that we've been doing underneath with our tunnels and things. So I'm going to get the collection system for this built first. It's going to be a very simple collection system because I don't do complicated ones anymore. Because I've kind of learned that really complicated ones have a tendency to jam or to not work or to just not do what I want them to do. So yeah, I will bring you back after the collection system has kind of been put in, and we will discuss what we're doing from there. Well, okay, so the collection system is in, the dirt is down, I have now spaced out. So here comes the, what can only be described as the really annoying bit. So I need to now place a grid of pistons and hoppers, pistons and observers all along this. So this is just to space it all out, just to make sure that this is going to be hydrated properly, so everything is 3 blocks out. The collection system is here. There are now plans, because this isn't working as nicely as I would like it to work. What's happening is occasionally they don't start back up again. Like this will be lit and they just won't be receiving power to go around. So I think the idea right now is whilst this works and is acceptable for purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the farm built, and then we're going to definitely revisit this little storage area. I'm going to look at some storage solutions. Again, Silent Whisperer is probably going to come in very helpful here. I know he released like 15 tileable storage system design kind of things. So when I've done that, so once I've done this bit, we're going to go back to this bit here, because we are going to need to do what we've done with every other farm, which is we're going to rip out the underside of this, and we're going to place the collection, or the storage system for all this under there. Now the reason this is so useful, and the reason we're building it here, is because that is the iron farm where I am doing a... I'm not going to lie, that was slightly embarrassing. Usually I have my controller plugged in most of the time, so sorry about that. Yeah. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so whenever I do villager trading here, this will be loaded in, generating more stuff for me to trade into here, which will keep this loaded in, blah, 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 blah. So basically, whenever you AFK at the iron farm, you will also be AFKing at this farm. I'm not sure if we will be able to do it if we're AFKing up there, if this will be loaded in. I'm kind of hoping it will. I love collecting my raw resources, and I kind of want to keep that train going. So, nobody likes watching people place down hundreds, I say hundreds, like 200 blocks, I think. Not even that, like 156. I don't know. Nobody likes watching people place in tons of redstone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get it all placed in, and I will bring you back for setting up the actual farm bit. Why do I feel like these observers are looking down on me and judging my storage? Like, just looking at you like, I don't like that. I don't like that. No. They can't wobble their heads like I do, but like, the judgment is definitely being felt. And I don't appreciate this. Mojang, give them a happier face. They look so grumpy with me. Why are they so grumpy? Why are observers grumpy? Probably because of the amount of lag they cause, actually. Okay, so the hard bit's done now, which is actually putting in the water, putting in all the pistons, that kind of thing. We still need to do the redstone up top to connect it, but what I want to do is I want to get all the melons and pumpkins kind of... Oh, actually, it'd probably do better to put the redstone in first, because then my system won't break. Okay, change of plans. We're going to put the redstone in first, and then we're going to put the melon and pumpkins in. So, yeah, lots of lights and stuff. And for this to work, you need lights that will pass a signal through. So, unfortunately, that is not redstone lamps. You also need them to be permanently powered, because in order for this to work, you need light sources. Melons and pumpkins do not grow without light sources. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pillar up here, and then on the backs of each one we put lights like so, and then in the middle what we do is we then put the hang about. No, it's the other way around. Haha, no, yeah, because we put these on top of the pistons so they let light through. Oh god, I am a silly sausage. Yeah, so the idea is whenever one of these detects growth movement, what will happen is they pulse a signal out into the redstone. So let's just have I got any did I bring any redstone with me? I've got a redstone box. Did I bring any just plain redstone? I brought some of this. So that'll do. Sorry, the usual inventory management on a controller is not the greatest. Yeah, so what we do is we put redstone on these. Whenever they detect movement, they will pulse out. Because these blocks are solid, they will then pass the signal through into the pistons, which will then break the blocks. Melons obviously breaking down into their core components. God, it'd be nice if we could put fortune on a piston. It would break the game, but like it would be nice. Anyways, so that should be all of that, and then we do this like so. There's a very roundabout way of me saying I forget how to do redstone. I have forgotten more about redstone than I will ever remember at this point. Especially some of the more like niche glitches and bugs that we used to have. I kind of miss some things, you know. But yeah. These are really simple farms, and these are infinitely expandable. As long as your collection system can kind of keep up with it, you could make this like 4 chunks, 10 chunks, whatever. And then above this, I believe Jayu wants to build a cactus farm. I have warned her that if any of the water from that cactus farm touches any of this redstone or this collection system, I get to go into PvP mode, which will take a long time because I suck at PvP. That's why I lost it last life. But actually, I lost because I died because of a trap. That's not the point. Anyways, so on the underside of this, we're going to follow the usual routine, which is one row is going to be pumpkins, one row is going to be melons, pumpkins, melons, pumpkins, melons, pumpkins. I'm going to delineate it with glass so I can tell which ones I'm putting in, and the water is already put into here. No spillages, thank God. It does mean I can't break any of this dirt now. But yeah, we're well underway to getting this complete, and honestly, this is, at this size, it's not a massive build. I could have, I mean, I was planning on building it much bigger. Like, much bigger. Like, I feel like everyone should just be thankful that I don't go crazy with some of these farms, alright? So I'm gonna complete this thing, because we've got way more farms to be building today. Okay, we're back. I love my sing-songy voice. Right, so this took way longer than it should. I went through like 5 different designs before I just kind of realized I'd already built an unloader system that's reasonable. Unlike the other one, which obviously has item storage in it to like kind of take care of the signal, this one uses a repeater and then just feeds the signal right back over, usual. In this time, this is what we built up over here, and this one has kind of not been running as long, but like, yeah, here we go. So it'll unload, and then when it does, go straight back through and around. Now, the storage system. So I've already kind of marked out an area and kind of started working. It is murky. I can't see anything on there. So we're going to come over here, drop down into here, and this is going to be our storage area. Now, obviously, we're going to have stairs that comes down through that wall, so this wall design is going to have to change. Once again, we're going to have to unflood the entire area, so my one-man war on water is continuing. I need to pop that in there. The redstone all needs covering up. I'm going to do a ceiling. That's why I brought this one lower. And we're going to hopefully use some of the lights from this. I'm going to kind of like maybe put some lights in these corners here just to mimic that. And we will also just be able to kind of see out and around our little area. Now, obviously, it's much clearer because we're under the power of the conduit and with a couple of mod packs we have installed. So basically what that means is when all of this is fully done, we're not going to be able to see under here as clear, in very much the same way that when we're in this tunnel and under here, we can't see this ravine. So, Jayu and I have decided if what we're going to do is we're probably going to unflood certain areas, or like drain them, basically. I don't know why I keep on saying unflooding and not draining. It's a problem. Anyways, we're going to drain the areas out, and then we're going to put like just silly little builds or decorative builds and things underneath them, so you know, people have something to look at. So we are under threat by other players, kind of. Well, not directly under threat, but like under threat enough to warrant a system. Basically, the Yeeter Beater that is going around, if you were on my stream, you would have seen it. This is kind of relatively unguarded. So what we've done is, if I come over here, yeah, you can just faintly hear it. If I turn up my audio on my game sounds up a little bit, what I can now do is, if I do this, is we have a alarm system that is so loud, but rocking on under there. Anyone who enters through the portal, as long as we're in this kind of area, we'll be able to hear it, which is a problem. So we're going to work on expanding that at some point, and we're going to put in a few other security measures like redstone doors and just some other things, like just to make the area feel secure and to get us building, or to keep us safe. Anyways, that still needs to be finished. We're gonna do a cleanup session at some point where we fully build out on these, like get all the tops of that finished. We'll work on the middle and the bottom sections at a later date. We're going to put bubble columns going up and down in here to the various little areas, because we got a lot of areas. So on one side of the build, there's going to be a bunch of bubble columns going up to various floors, and on the other side of the building, there's going to be a bunch of bubble columns down from various floors. But yeah, for now, we want to focus on the melon and the pumpkin farm, and I want to get this finished. So I'm going to go grab some sponges and some other bits and bobs, like glass and stuff. And we're going to build the stairway down, make sure this is completely airtight, and we're going to begin yet another draining process. So it is done. We now have our storage room with obligatory redstone in the ceiling. What's that? Oh, it's the opposite of that one. Okay, I was so confused now. That's a storage system. So yeah, it also looks like, whilst I've kind of been messing around down here getting it drained out, Jayu has actually put the tower up. And then on top of it, we have a cactus farm now. Honestly, I'm loving how cluttered this is all getting. Like my goal is to make sure this is as cluttered as possible, like just loads of builds all kind of stacked and piled on top of each other. And it's living up to expectations. Now, I want to do the decoration for this room. So I'm gonna grab a whole bunch of blocks, and well, it's not really gonna be decoration. It's more gonna be like just putting in neat ordered areas so we can AFK here without these things backing up. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna crack on. You wanna see how much I hate building redstone items? I basically just bulk build everything that I'm ever gonna need, and then hopefully I never run out, because these are a nightmare, these are a nightmare, and these are a nightmare, and I hate them. Dispensers are even worse because they use a non-stackable item, which so yeah, I need to just grab out say half a stack of these, maybe just take these, and I need to build a load more chests. Okay, so we have another farm done. Yep, this is complete. The storage comes through, so we don't have to worry about anything from there. I just threw these in the corner. I don't know why. I need to get rid of this. That needs to come with me. And boosh. Right, we are done with this one. On to the next one. Okay, so we had a change of plan. Basically, it looks like the Nether Hub is now in development, and I got skewered. Well, I nearly died. It was not fun. So that changes our plans into something much, much more interesting, which is we're going to once again chunk aligned. I'm very much enjoying having everything chunk aligned. It's good. Yes. So yeah, we're gonna build a sugarcane farm because we need rockets to get back and forth whilst the Nether Hub is under development, and yeah, that's what this space is gonna go to. So usually I build these things quite like wide, This one is going to be built tall instead. That's the inside of my foot, I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to put in a collection system around this side here, and then we're going to build the remaining space here, here, and here as sugarcane, and we're just going to tile it all the way up with a drop-down system on here. So yeah, I'm gonna use a different style of unloader this time. I'm atrocious. I know. I am sorry, but we've also been discussing kind of like smaller builds, and that's what this is sort of becoming. It's like a little testing ground that we've set up. So as you can see, it's getting to be night, so this light now lights up. Because we kind of want to start hiding some of these. We also want to put in little decorative builds like this. This is my bench. I like my bench. And we're going to be filling areas out, just kind of bring a bit more colour, a bit more greenery to this old broken city that we're kind of building. We're making plans to go out and get the spawners and the eggs necessary for this. I have a ton. That is awesome. I have a ton of screenshots now because I just can't be bothered travelling backwards and forwards. And Jayu's continued on with this build here. We now also have a fishing village out here. We generate so much fish from our farms. We need a way of getting rid of it. So that is what that's going to become. I am going to go after stonemasons. So out here, about 100 blocks, there's going to be a stonemason village where we can do lots of different trading. Obviously, this is just a general trading hall, but the area is coming along quite nicely, and I just want to get to redstoning. So I'm going to knock up the bottom layer of this, and I will bring you back to show you all of the mechanisms and everything that's being used. So yeah, let's just get on with it. Right, it's nothing overly special. It is a sugarcane farm. There is literally only so many ways you can rebuild and redesign this thing before it gets old, and I have built so many. I've never actually built stackable though, so this is going to be an interesting experience. So other than the deep slate bricks, which will be going on top of these buddies, and it will be deep slate bricks, I just kind of want a bit of a block variation in here because I need to flood all of these. This is how it'll operate. Whenever the end ones grow up, this will go pop, and it'll push a signal all the way out along. Same for this one. This one looks so pathetic by itself, like wall, potential doorway. So yeah, like I'm gonna have to figure out this bit. Now I don't want to be using hopper chains up and down. They are just way too slow. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is because there is a hopper here underneath this that keeps it safe, is I'm going to build a column going up, and all that column is going to do is just have a series of dispensers that will basically, whenever they detect something that's inside of them, they're going to spit it down this hole and it will land in here. Now that's going to require a bit of redstone going up. Obviously it doesn't affect this one, but it will affect the build in terms of just being above this floor. So I'm going to get this lower section thrown in now, put some nice glass on the front, because I did a bunch of smelting. Is it over here? It's not over here, it's actually over there. What I'm doing is do that is I'm just going to get rid of some of these I don't actually need. Throw these in here, so I'm just carrying around. But yeah, so I'm going to go get the glass, get the sugarcane on front, get the water thrown in there, so like we've, you know, it's at least working for now. That's all I need. So yeah, I'll go up like a couple of levels and figure out this dropper system that I want to implement, and yeah, we'll be back. Okay, so going up, this is what I'm going to be using. So what will happen is this will be the rail line, so the rail car will come in here. This all activates as normal, this detects, powers this block, this unpowers, this depowers, rail stops, right? Now, as it's flowing through here, it'll come into here. We have a second comparator. The comparator will read anything that's in here, pass a signal into this block, which will power this sticky piston. The sticky piston will then move this in front of that, and it will then fire. So what happens is we get something like this. Like, and it works. That's all we needed to do. We everything kind of fine. Yeah, cool. And then what we will then do is we'll kind of have like a little bit of a little tube system like this. I'll have to go a bit higher for this section here. Sorry, if I can just wrap it around like So, barring any issues, that shouldn't be a problem. I know it's a problem on the downswing. If it's a problem on the upswing, I should probably test that now by actually getting a rail on here. But this is effectively what it'll be, is just a tube that runs all of our stuff straight down, reducing the amount of hoppers. Hoppers laggy. I mean, it's redstone and it's bug rock, so like everything's going to be laggy to some extent, but I'm kind of doing my due diligence to reduce the lag as much as possible. So this is only, obviously this is just temporary measures for now, so this entire thing will need to, basically the collection system will have to be here. And we're probably going to do the collection system underneath again. We've grown into a habit of doing it. It makes everything look really pretty when you're on the underside of these builds, so that's probably what we're going to do. So I'm going to leave this here just as my template, my pattern, and yeah, let's just get the first section in now, shall we? Layer 1 complete. Honestly, these really don't take that much time. It's the second layer that's going to be a nightmare. Why am I wireframing? Look at all my wireframes. That was weird. Look. Go look up. Oh, okay. There's no use for that. But, yeah, so, layer 1. I guess I just start now. Let's go. Well, we done it. 2 reasonably sized farms done in a single episode. So yeah, this is it so far. We've got 3 layers. It works, and it kicks out enough to keep us both satisfied for rockets. Obviously, we just need to work on, there's a creeper farm over there, which is kind of working, kind of not, but we need to get that sorted. Maybe just turn it into a general mob farm. And yeah, this has gone up nicely. We also got straight onto decoration, so we now have this little tunnel going in, which I quite like. And Jayu has continued on kind of just filling out these little areas. I decided to memorialize. I couldn't be bothered ripping it down, okay? So now it's an exhibit. And this is basically a interactive model. Eventually, so you can put your items in here, it'll go through, it'll do its job, and you know, whatever items you put in will just kind of come back out here. Yes, this is the extent of my laziness. I would much rather create an interactive system than tidy up after myself. So these should start popping back through into here at any point now. That'll just kind of, yeah, you just turn it off. Just make sure you turn off the exhibits. So yeah, that's it. And that's everything for this episode. So anyways, yeah, take care all.